Welcome back to TCPIP Basics, and this time we're talking about using subnet masks and the role they play in assigning networks and hosts. We see that subnet masks separates networks from hosts. Networks are going to appear on the left side, as you'll see in just a moment, and the hosts appear on the right side. And it's a sliding scale. We can move it back and forth depending on whether we need more hosts or whether we need more networks. So subnet masks are represented by contiguous ones and zeros. You can't have 10100001 like you can on an IP address. Subnet masks mask off networks from hosts, so you can't have any zeros in between ones, or there'll be no way to actually properly mask them off. So if we take a look at CIDR, and that's the classless interdomain routing that we talked about previously, CIDR/24, just as an example, we can see that it's represented by 3 sets of octets that are all set to ones, and the 4th octet that is set to zeros. So if we go ahead and highlight these, each one of these octets is 2 to the 8th power, right? So if we just say 8 plus 8 plus 8, we get 24. So that's how we end up with this /24. Now we know that the TCPIP version 4 is 32 bits. So if we take 32, we subtract 24, then we have 8 left over, and 8 bits is what's left over for the hosts. And 2 to the 8th power is 256. So we'll talk a little bit more about that here coming up. Subnet masks change the amount of usable IPs that are in a subnet. So let's take a look at an exam.ple. We've got 192.168.1.0/24, just like we had in our last slide, and that's 254 usable IP addresses. However, all we have to do is change the subnet mask from a /24, which gives us 8 bits of usable hosts, to /28, which of course gives us 4 bits of usable hosts. And that completely changes the amount of usable hosts or usable IP addresses that we can use for hosts in our network. Subnet masks are a sliding scale, as I mentioned earlier. You move the mask to the right for more networks, and you move the mask to the left for more hosts. So let's take a look at what this means in binary. So in binary on the left-hand side, you see the binary values converted to decimal. So let's take a look at an example here and explain what all this means. So first, we're going to take a look at the binary side. So we see that binary on this first bit here, the value is 1. We go over and it keeps doubling and doubling and doubling all the way to the 32nd bit, although we only show the 8 bits here. So we know how to convert binary to decimal. Now that we know how to do that, let's go over to our binary, and we see this 192.168.1.0 address. And how do we get to 192 in binary? Well, easy enough. You take the first 2 bits, which we know are 128 and 64 from our scale in the bottom left, and that adds up to 192. And we take our 168 and our 1 and our 0, and we do the same thing. So that's how we can tell the binary value of a decimal IP address. Now if we go down to the next section where it says subnet mask, we see that we're using a /24, a CIDR24. So once again, the first 3 octets are all going to be used for networks, and the last octet is going to be used for hosts. So once again, let's use another example. We've got binary values and their decimal conversions. And this time we're going to use the subnet mask of /28 instead of /24. So if we do the conversion once again from decimal, we see the last 4 bits add up to 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8, because we always go from right to left. And you can take a look at the binary values in the lower left corner just to confirm that. So we see a half a block of an octet of zeros on the right-hand side. 4 zeros on the right-hand side means 4 bits. So we have 2 different ways to calculate usable IP addresses. And let's take a look at those 2 ways. So one way is doing binary. So we can take 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1, just like I showed in the last slide. And if you add up binary, you need to subtract one IP address for the broadcast address. Remember, the broadcast address is the last address in any network segment, and it's used to find other computers. So you always have to have a broadcast address. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to find other computers. However, there's a second way to calculate how many usable IP addresses we have, and that's by going to the power of 2. But the power of 2, we end up with a different amount of IP addresses. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 equals 16 rather than 15. So we need to subtract 2 IP addresses to get the same 14 IP addresses that are usable. So why do we subtract 2? Well, we subtract 2 because the first address is going to be the subnet, also known as the network address. The second address is going to be the broadcast, just like we subtracted when we added in binary. So the reason we subtract 1 from binary instead of 2 is because the subnet IP is assumed. You've already assumed that you've accounted for it, so you don't see it in binary. Whereas when you do to the power of 2, it's not assumed. So that's why you subtract 2 instead of 1. So let's take the subnet mask of 20. Here's another example. We can see that we've got 20 number ones. So that's the subnet mask, the contiguous ones. And then that leaves us with what? Leaves us with 12 hosts for the IPs. Because remember, we always have to add up to 32. So we've got 32 minus 20. It leaves us 12 zeros on the right-hand side. So 2 to the 12th power. So we see 1.5 blocks of octets of zeros on the right-hand side. So 12 zeros on the right octet means 12 bits, or 2 to the 12th power. So we can do this one of two ways. We can add it all up from right to left, 1 plus 2 plus 4, etc. Or we can go 2 to the power of 12. So if we go with our adding up on the binary side, we can see we have 4,095, and we just subtract the 1 for the broadcast, and we end up with 4094. But if we go to the power of 2, because it's just easier, we can use a calculator for it more quickly, just put in 2 to the power of 12, and boom, you get your answer. And that answer is going to be 4,096. So that's one more address than this 4,095, right? So here we need to subtract both the broadcast address and the network address, because the network address is not assumed when you go to the power of 2. So, but you still end up with the same amount of usable IPs. So it's completely up to you which way you can calculate this, either by the power of 2 or by adding up binary one at a time. So that's how we get more IPs or more networks. We slide the scale back and forth, left and right, until you get the correct mix that works for you. Whether you're using subnets or using layer 3 switches with VLANs, it doesn't matter. It all works the exact same way. So calculating subnet masks is an important skill to have as an IT administrator or network administrator in today's infrastructure world.